we always want like what other people have. Like I have a lot of friends like having babies right now. They're getting married, and these aren't the thing. These are things that I want. My body wants it. Like I was born to be a mother, you know, but my career exceeds that right now, and that's what I'm focused on. So it's a very hard battle. Oof, it's so hard. And then like with society, they're like, oh, you got a clock, honey. What are you doing? Like, are you married yet? And like all this crap. And it's like, in due time, because it's like, if I lived for other people, that's how people like get divorced. You get into a relationship, you end up cheating on them, or like you're just, this is unfulfillment. And it's like, I've learned like I'm gonna do me before any freaking thing, and whatever comes after that, then hey, you know.
I don't trust myself after all the pain I've held. I know myself too well, been in and out of hell.
Welcome back, folks. Another day, another podcast. Some say another day, another dollar. So we say here. And today we have a very special guest, a real life Disney princess turned queen, living her dream as an artist, designer, and everything in between. And my first time meeting her, so very pleasure to have Hazel Mulan on the Heir Cast today.
Hello.
And here on the Heir Cast, we start with the important questions because the people, the fans, the world, the Air Force, the air support, everybody wants to know. Is it hot in this furry top you're wearing?
First, it's faux fur. You know, I'm vegan.
Okay, so can you explain a faux fur, what that is for those that don't know?
It's fake fur.
Right, okay, so not from an actual animal.
Yeah.
Awesome.
But is it hot? No, because I'm always cold. So this works for
So
me.
it's just her looks that's making it hot up in here. That's what it is. Anyways, so thanks for coming on. I have so many questions. There's so much we could get into, but I want to get into that then, since we're already starting with the veganism, because House of Mulan, that's kind of the whole concept of that.
Yeah. My House of Mulan, all my brand is vegan. Everything is vegan.
And House of Mulan, is this clothing? Is this specifically just clothing?
Yes, it's clothing, and it's seasonal. So I'll come out with like a line of things for certain seasons. Maybe summers I'll do bikinis, but lately I've just been more making it based around my merch. So if I have a single release, I'll probably put my cover art on the shirt, so it kind of coincides with always the music.
Awesome. And then speaking of single releases, Sugar coming out later this month, September 28th, correct?
Yep, September 28th.
Awesome. Okay, what would you like to say about that record? Anything, features or production?
No features. The production will be Effie Sanel. Shout out to you and Daniel Bartley Jr. You guys are amazing. It's been great working with them. Effie did my last EP that you were just hearing, and yeah, it's gonna be really fun. I don't want to give it away, but it's gonna be like South Beach, Miami vibes, like that real, just like aesthetic feel for Miami. You know how like Tony Montana used to make you feel?
Okay, like Miami Vice feel, Deco
Yeah.
Miami Vice feel,
Yeah.
like that. That's kind of the idea. Okay, that's cool. I can see that, and I like the way you use the word aesthetic, because listening to your music, it definitely feels like you have a certain aesthetic to it, your certain sound. The records, although there's a wide range of different records, from slow records to more upbeat records to more emotional records to more romantic records, a lot of things going on, but there's an aesthetic to it. Is that something you're purposely doing when creating music?
Yeah, I try to be very intentional all the time. And I think that's the fun part about creating music, because whatever mood I'm in or whatever I'm going through, I want to capitalize off that and bring people into my world.
Awesome. Okay, so and that's what we're going to do today. I definitely want to get into your world multiple ways here with the music and now the clothing, because we're kind of jumping from all over the place. What came first?
The music.
Music. Awesome. And was Hazel Mulan always the artist name?
Hazel Mulan was always the artist name since I first started releasing music. And I wanted it to just be Hazel, but it's not that findable. So another aesthetic, a part of me, I love Asian culture. I love Disney. Mulan's my favorite princess. And I was like, it's kind of gave me like Nicki Minaj Ariana Grande, like, you know, that first name, last name. So it coincided with like who I was too. So it just, the name found me.
I love that.
Yeah.
That's cool, and that's what Mulan's story is basically, because she tries, she gets into the war because they're all like genders, and they're all like, oh,
Yeah.
women can't be in the war, but she ends up being one of the best soldiers in the entire
she
army.
kicked their ass.
Exactly, and she finds herself by, in turn playing someone else, but the truth is she's finding herself that way, and that's really who she is. You can't let the world determine who you are or tell you who you are, and that's an awesome way that you found a connection in your personality, and then that's something everybody can relate to. So that's really powerful. That's awesome, and I'm glad that was kind of the name from the beginning. It's poetic. I believe in God, and like I like screenwrites and short films, so I try to write plots, and I always try to appreciate good writing. But I always say to my dad and to people, God is the best screenwriter ever.
Oh, he is.
And that's one of my favorite moments in life, when somebody just has their name from the beginning. Like it just fit. Like
that's
I just
what
knew
I'm
what
saying.
it was.
Like it found me. Like God knew it was already written. He knew what was to come. So I just follow his lead.
And how old are you the first time you started recording?
Well, I've been singing since a child. So I was in a choir when I was younger.
Okay, church.
And then I went to Michael Kropp Senior, and I was in the magnet program for a choir. So it's always been in my life, and mainly because of my grandfather, Ricky Thomas, rest in peace. He was a jazz artist.
Wow.
And it's crazy because out of all of my cousins, the music stuck with me. Like, we have nurses, we have teachers, we have all these things, and then I'm the singer. So I think it came from him too. Like it literally, like, it makes me want to cry. I miss him so much. But it came from him. So I want to say my whole life, on and off.
Awesome. So
But recording, probably like 21.
21. Great. Okay. And then what do you know the name of the first song you ever recorded?
Yep. First song I recorded was called Lazy, but it never got released. And then the first official song as Hazel Mulan was Rain Man.
Rain Man.
Yeah.
Like the movie? Like.
Well, I heard about the movie, but it's.
Have you ever seen the movie?
No, and I should, but it doesn't relate to that.
Different.
Yeah, different background story.
Awesome.
So the Rain Man was more about I like the rain, and it was more about how you feel.
Stop.
I don't know if I could say it.
What do you mean by that?
It's like how you feel when you're with your partner.
Okay, yeah, you can say anything you want. There's no restrictions here. If there's anything you want to take out after, you can tell me. We'll edit it out. Whatever. Cool. You're good. I don't want you to feel uncomfortable.
No,
or restricted.
Yeah. Like,
got you.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah. Like when you're in the bedroom with your boo, it might rain.
It's fire. I love it. That's great. Okay.
Yeah.
Now I see what's going on.
Beauty of life.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool. Okay. Great. And then, so what's Sugar about? Is that
Sugar is just basically about me, and it's just about femininity and just stepping into who you are and doing what the heck you want to do, wearing what the heck you want to wear, going where you want to do like it's your body, do what you want to do, like, and I wanted, if I could think of a color for Sugar, it's gonna be pink, just pretty and pink.
I love that.
Like a Barbie.
I love that. That's good that you associate a color with music, because it's definitely like you're hearing colors. Like sometimes, like music is beautiful, and it's a universal language, because in the sense of, you might not even understand the lyrics sometimes, you might not understand the language, but music's music. If it's sonically, rhythmically vibing, it's good. Like you just could shake your head to it and ride. Like I've heard Japanese music, I've heard all kinds of music that's just, that's sliding. Like there's something there. And even techno music, and like how there's music with no lyrics that people worldwide could connect to. So that's pretty powerful. And so you start early, young. Did you always want to be an artist though, or was this always like a hobby? Like, did you ever have any dreams of being a doctor or nurse like some of your other cousins?
I always wanted to be in the entertainment. I always wanted to be a singer. I think it started off when I started like writing poems. I always wanted to be on stage. Like,
wow.
My dad put me on stage when I was like 4 years old for some like little contest. So it's been instilled in me for a really long time. And no matter how much I tried to leave music, like, you know what, this isn't working for me. I'm gonna go to this. I'm gonna go to that. It always finds me.
Full circle. Come
Yeah.
back. Yeah. If it's for you, it's for you. You know, I heard somebody say one time, if your whole family's full of plumbers and everybody's a plumber, and then you're naturally good at plumbing, sometimes it just
Right.
it works out for you. And like, don't fight it. And yes, chase your dream and do what makes you happy. I feel, and I do want to preach that as well. But sometimes, like we were mentioning earlier, sometimes things just make sense,
Yeah.
and that doesn't mean do that for the rest of your life. But
Exactly.
that's if you got it there, create a foundation. We're so multifaceted in life.
Yeah.
And I feel as humans we get scared to climb up a mountain and then climb back down and start over.
Yeah.
People go to school for years, and mind you, I didn't go to college, so I don't know necessarily what that feels like, but you have to reinvent yourself all the time. I just feel as humans we get caught up in this, I don't want to start over, like I gotta
Yeah.
see this through. But you are seeing it through. You're seeing your life through, and you're never
Exactly.
starting over. You're starting from experience.
Exactly. Just go with the flow. And I always feel like we're always evolving. So it's like, why put yourself in a box? Like, maybe this is just what I'm doing now. Maybe down the line I might just be an actress, or maybe I'll be a chef. Like, I'm just going with the flow most of the time. I'm very mellow.
And you're pretty much already a chef. You're a vegan cook, right?
Yeah.
What's like a go-to dish that you would do for someone?
Ooh, my go-to dish. I can make a good rasta pasta.
Rasta pasta. What does that entail?
So it's like pasta noodles, coconut milk, and cashew-based cream. So it's like an Alfredo mimic type of thing. And then I'll put like peppers, mushrooms, vegan ground beef. So it's like the texture, so it's like tempeh. And and then I put like jerk sauce in it. Mwah, chef's kiss. So good. With
Wow.
like maybe like a garlic bread, some like Caesar salad.
That sounds good. Is there an alternative for the cashew sauce? 'Cause I'm allergic to nuts. Is there another way you
Ooh.
would be able to do that?
Yeah, they sell coconut cream, so I would just take the cashews out of it.
I see how they could. Okay, that's awesome. That's awesome. I definitely have to try that.
Coconut and jerk, like those two flavors together are amazing.
Really?
It's like the sweet and the spice.
The sweet and the spice, I guess. This the savory, and that makes sense. Wow. What are some not dishes that you necessarily you don't have to make them yourself, but what are some of your favorites that you go out to eat? Maybe they eat something you don't necessarily make yourself.
I rarely go out to eat. If I do go out to eat, I love getting pho. The big bowl of
A bowl?
noodles.
Okay, cool. Is there any places you'd recommend?
Yeah, pho. Dang, should I give away my spot? Yeah, it's fine. Pho 79.
Thank you. We all appreciate you.
It's
We're
in
gonna put it here.
it's like Davie or Plantation, but it's the best pho in the city.
What's your go-to order? How would you order it?
I just get a vegetable pho with tofu in it.
Okay, and it's good as is. Okay,
Yeah.
I've never had that experience. I have to try it out.
It's really good, especially if like you're sick or anything. It's so good, and I love soup. That's like my favorite thing
I
to
love it too. Since like last year, I've been making it a point to try to have a soup day at least. It's hard to do it once a week, because
Yeah.
all the ingredients and taking it. But I'm doing it at least like once a month.
Yeah.
Try to do like twice a month. But soup's awesome. It's kind of like a recalibrating, and it's good. It's very filling.
It's so good. I like to like meal prep it and just keep it in the fridge. Just have it ready, because as a singer, I always need to keep my vocals warm. So it works.
What are some other things you do to keep your voice straight? What are some tips?
Ginger shots, like number one. Ginger will heal everything, because you don't want a lot of mucus in your chest, and anytime before I sing, that will get me right. Even if I don't have a tea near, I'll have like ginger, and that could be sufficient enough for me.
Okay, cool. And you mentioned tea. What kind of tea are you drinking?
Tea, I would do probably something without caffeine, but probably my favorite tea would be like raspberry leaf.
Wow. Does it taste like kind of like
Raspberry.
fruity? Yeah, like raspberry.
Yeah,
Do you
it
taste
tastes fruity, and it's good for women's reproductive system too.
Wow, that's awesome. That's you're so educational. This is good. That's what we do here on the Heir Cast. We learn and laugh. I love it. All right, and then so how about pets? Do you have any pets?
Yes, her name is Miracle, and look, I'll even show you guys.
We'll drop it here for them. I'd love to see Miracle.
Look, that's my baby.
Aw, she's cute.
She's a
precious.
Morkie.
Yorkie. No, wait, you said Morkie.
So she's a Maltese mixed with a Yorkie.
Oh, so Morkie. That's hilarious. I've never heard that mixture of name.
Yeah.
That's cool. Morky, okay. And how long have you had her?
Miracle's 5 now. No, I have a 6-year-old. Oh my god. Wow. Yeah, she's 6 now.
Parenthood. Time flies.
Yeah.
As a parent.
I'm a mother.
Yeah, I love dogs. Having pets has added so much value to my life and great. And musically too, as a writer,
Heck yeah.
I write so much music with my dogs. Like as inspiration because honest moment here, I haven't necessarily had a solid relationship, like, you know, romantically. Like in the last couple of years, I've just been so involved with work and just I don't have the time. You know, it kind of sucks. Like, you know, here and there things like that, but nothing real serious. So it's hard to put myself sometimes in like positions like of like writing from a place of love because like I'm not going through the heartbreaks, and then I've written bangers from heartbreaks. So sometimes I'll just look at my dogs and like, you know, it kind of puts me there. It puts me in that place of creativity, and it's like, wow, the love I feel for them is like, this is relatable
It's
for
the
everybody.
same. Love is universal. So it's like, and that's the cool thing about creating music and writing in words. You can talk about anything and make it in third person, and they'll think you're talking about your girlfriend, but actually this is about my dog.
Facts. 100%. Yeah, I have songs that a lot of people think are about heartbreaks, but it's like they were actually written from a place of like family problems and like, you know, friend problems and like real stuff, like, you know, because we all go through love things, but sometimes I purposely don't word it that way, you know. I don't let you know what it is. It's just, but we all go through arguments, we all go through moments with loved ones, and I feel like that's the true testament to good relationships. It's not all randy dandy, it's not all sweet, it's supposed to be up and downs.
It's definitely ups and downs. I think that's when you learn the best and the worst sides of people, because it's like when you can get into something and it's like, all right, I've seen all sides of you, I think then you're ready for like marriage or to take the next step. But until you've like seen someone through grief, through financial problems, through everything, like it can definitely, I think if you can pass that, your relationship can pass the test of time. And I don't think enough people get through that phase.
That's awesome you bring it up, because I wanted to ask you about time, because and taking time with somebody romantically, because so many people get into relationships and then end up divorcing or in real toxic situations because they just rush into something with somebody. And it's like you just said it perfectly, how you have to really see somebody at their worst, their best. You have to really see all sides of that person to really experience them and get to know them. Unfortunately, a lot of people sometimes find out the hard way, and you know, for better or worse, at the end of the day, I don't like to say anything could be a waste, because it's a learning lesson. But it's definitely something, you know, I feel should be talked about more. It's too natural. I feel like it's too often done where people just
so I think nowadays it's we have social media, so it's like we see all this accessibility, all these people, all these pictures,
relationships
and things,
yeah,
and we can get sucked into that world so easily. And it's like sometimes you gotta focus on what's in your home, because that's like, love yours, and everything will come together, because it's like that world makes you think you have so many options, and really you don't. Like, you know, you end up meeting somebody and it's like, you know.
Yeah, facts. It's not a real world. People get caught up in that and think it's real.
On the other side.
Exactly. The grass is green where you water it.
Yes, so true.
You got to make it green, and sometimes, you know, the room's not right. Sometimes you got to go to another room, but the truth is, it's self-accountability. Even when it's not necessarily your fault per se, I'm finding ways to make it my fault, just to better myself. And like, I put myself in that situation, even though X factor happened because of X person, I put myself there. And it's, you know, it's tough on my mental sometimes, because it's like I beat myself up a lot about it, but it's I feel like overall it's healthy, because I'm just getting better, and I'm playing chess with my time and my emotions and my life, and
we're getting to know ourselves, like, you know, like I said, like, we're always evolving. So it's like your person's always evolving too. So it's like, okay, this is who you want to be this month, fine, you know, like maybe I'm not rocking with this guy right now, and I'll meet you in a few months or something. Like,
Facts.
You know, it's just having those hard conversations, you know, and just dealing with things when they come.
You have to have it. The best things in life are tough. Pregnancy's tough. Like, you know, like it's success is tough. The failure makes the success so tough. You mentioned rain earlier. I've said multiple times on the pod how I love rain. And growing up, like, rain's kind of almost vilified. Like, oh, it's a rainy day. It sucks. The day's ruined. Growing up in Miami Beach, I mean, not in Miami Beach, but growing up in Miami, I see how that, correlates to, like, the beach. Oh, it ruins the pool, it ruins that factor. But I love rainy days.
Yeah.
I write.
We need them. We could rest. We could, and then after the rain, hey, what do you got? A beautiful sunshine.
Exactly.
Oh, and a rainbow.
The best. Yeah, you can't have a rainbow without rain.
Yeah.
Isn't that incredible?
Yeah. And then, and the rainbow, if we want to get, like, super deep into it, it's like we get to a pot of gold.
Facts. Wow. Yeah, we're gonna add it. We're gonna add it in post. That's awesome. Yeah, I actually would. No, you did not. Jesus Christ. This guy loves
Better
it.
late than never.
Okay, so, Miracle. Any other? Do you have plans to add another baby to Miracle? Add a sibling for Miracle?
Miracle doesn't have a sibling yet. Actually, I have a baby named Bison too. He's a pit bull.
Oh wow, Bison's a great name. I love that. Do they get along?
Yeah, she actually bullies him around, and he's a pit bull.
She bullies she's OG. She got experience, right? Because she's older.
No, he's older.
Oh.
He's just like a gentle giant.
Oh, so that's good. I do see that the bigger the dog, I think the I guess nicer.
Yeah. Pit bulls get a bad rep. That pit bull changed my mind about all pit bulls because he's just like the sweetest boy.
Yeah, I grew up with a pit bull. My first memorable dog was Kilo, and he was awesome. I loved him. Pets are great. Pets are awesome. I can't say that enough on the podcast.
I know, right?
Yeah.
I'm an animal lover. I love animals. Like, yeah.
Do you only have Bison?
No, Miracle as well. Miracle and Bison. Yeah, she has the two doggies, a boy and a girl. And then I got questions here too, so let's bring it back to the questions.
Yeah.
Okay, and then so with your albums, I asked kind of how you have an aesthetic with your music. How does it come to creating a project? Do you have songs already out that you put together on a project? Are you just creating songs as you go, or do you start from the set and say, hey, I want to create a project that's about this, and now I start making songs about that?
So how it ends up happening, like, it's always different. Like, for When We Had Nothing, that EP, I did it in 1 week. So all of those songs were in one world. For an EP I'm dropping in October, I'm always working. So I have a lot of demos. So when it comes time to putting a piece of projects together, I feel like after a while, I get a bunch of songs and I'm like, these go together. This can go here. This would fit well. I feel like this week, this will go better. So it's kind of, it's like, I guess, like, depends on the mood and, like, what's going on, but I'll piece it together in that
It's
way.
more free-flowing, though. You're not necessarily restricting yourself to, okay, this is this project, so I have to make songs this way. No, it's more free-flowing, and it comes after organically. I love that. That's good. That allows you to have more fun, I think.
And I always want to, like, now I've learned, like, when I release music, I want to release it in that time when I'm feeling that way. Because if not, like, and I'm, like, doing a performance, it's like, oh, God, I don't want to sing about a breakup. I'm happy now. Or, like, vice versa. So
it's different.
Yeah. But even if I did have to, it's fine.
I mean, yeah, it's performative, but I feel that, like, you're not the same. Because you change in life. You grow as a person. So as an artist, you see that hugely with your music, with my art. I see that. Sometimes I hear my older stuff. I'm like, wow, can't believe I was talking like that. I can't believe I was thinking.
Like, who was that? Oh, my God.
Yeah. But it's fun. It's definitely, it's a blessing. It's a gift. I trip out with people that don't sometimes, because I have so many friends that are in music, friends that either rap, create music, write, sing, all kinds of things. So sometimes I forget that, this is a strange thing to people. People don't understand it. It can't necessarily wrap their head around it. Like, wow, how do you do that? It's crazy. I have this brainwashing, this delusion in my mind where I think everybody has it in them. I'm like, you could do it. You got it in you somehow, but it's not. As I get older, I realize you can't.
I think everyone could probably do it, but it won't hit the same, maybe. I think music is very spiritual. Like, Michael Jackson said something one time, and I resonated it forever. I will resonate with it forever. They was like, how do you write your music? And he's like, he's like, it comes to me. Like, I'm not, if it's forced, it's not gonna be authentic, and like people can like tell.
It writes itself.
Mm-hmm.
That's powerful. That's actually really good. Kendrick, I heard him say something similar like one time where he says music's just organic. I don't go into it beforehand. We're just in the studio and it happens naturally. You know, sometimes it doesn't get made, sometimes it does, but it's organic. And ever since I heard him say that, it really clicked in my mind, because a lot of times features, I want to collab with the whole world. I want to collab with so many people, but it's tough because I don't want our collab, like, it's one way to collab where I send you a verse and do that. I don't want that. Once we have a rapport and we get each other, it's a little bit different. But our first time collabing, I want to be there with you. I want to hear beats with you. I want to figure this out with you. So it's both of our personalities. It's just like a plug and place thing where I just send it to you and you do your thing. And that's not necessarily a collaboration. That doesn't feel like it to me. So the bad end is I'm not having as many collaborations because of the time, the schedules, this and that. But it feels better. It's when it's organic like that. It feels better.
Yeah, for sure. Like with me and Danny, my producer, he also is a vocal arranger too, so it's like we could be in the studio for freaking hours. Like, it's just like the collaboration, like that back and forth feedback. That's why, like, when you see like a Beyonce album or Ariana Grande, it's like with the credits, and like a lot of people are like, oh, like, but she doesn't write her songs, or like whatever. Like, those are the best songs in the world. When people come together, even if it's two producers on or something, like, I love that. I love as an artist that I'm gonna be able to create more jobs for people, you know.
And on that point too, art, I feel like it takes away from the art, because at the end of the day, the name of the game is making good art, good music, good content,
right,
good movies. How crazy would the world be if people didn't make movies because directors are like, no, but it has to be me. I have to be the actor, the director, the writer.
Yeah, it's all me. Like, we can't be so selfish. We have to be selfless.
And you know what's wild? It's really like a rap and R&B, not even so much R&B, because R&B there's groups and like that's a cool thing, like people sing together, there's duets. It's really like just a hip hop. It comes from like that, like in other worlds, bands are a thing. People collab all the time, and it's so cool. Linkin Park got Jay-Z on a record, and like that's a whole group. But with rap, it's like it comes like, no, it's all me. It's the writing. Like everybody tries Drake for having ghostwriters, you know.
Yeah,
it's like, I
think eventually, like once you get to a certain level, you'll understand that you cannot do anything alone.
It takes a village. It takes a village, yeah.
It definitely does, and I wouldn't want it any other way. Like I love working with people. It's very hard to do it by yourself. It's very freaking hard. It's very stressful. Like it could be it's like a defeated feeling sometimes.
And even those that do it themselves, like I edit a lot of my podcasts. I write so much. I write everything. I write scripts. I write music for my people. I write music for artists I work with, for myself. It's a lot of the prep, and I pride myself on all that. But I'm also working with other people. Like so, I'm a proponent of do as much you can yourself. But I also understand you could get so far yourself, but you get so much further with other people.
Yeah,
and
for sure.
You had mentioned Dave, the vocal arranger.
Danny.
Danny. What can you explain what a vocal arranger is? Because you're writing the music, so
he helps with production too, and with vocal arranging, like we'll come together with a lot of harmonies. It's like stacking vocals, putting things in the right place, like making sure like the notes are pitched correctly. It's the little nuances that make the music so much better.
And he's engineering as well?
He does that as well, but my main engineer is Rick Brown. Okay,
but different. So the vocal arranging is more a different process.
Back to the team, it's like 10 people.
Full circle moment. That's something we do here. So got it. So I wanted to. That was more my question and why I asked it that way. I wanted to understand if the vocal arranging is engineering or that's separate. It's separate.
Yeah, it's separate. More like a part of the recording process.
Cool. Okay, very important. And then. What's some things you've learned? Like, I guess what would be the way to ask this? What's some advice you'd give to a younger Hazel or other artists listening right now? Something that you've learned throughout the recording process, throughout all these years of making music. What's something that you keep in mind now all the time that you necessarily weren't doing 10, 15 years ago?
Drop your music when it's ready. Don't think about shit too much. Like, drop your freaking music, because I have so many records that I would never release now because I've waited on it. I'm a Leo, so I have all these grandiosity ideas, and I want to do the big music video on the set, and I want something big.
Right.
Yeah, so it's like shit don't happen that way sometimes. Like, money come in, like, you know, you gotta record, you gotta do this, like, it's very expensive, and then by the time the record's over and you want to push it, it's like, okay, I don't even like the song
You're
anymore.
not there anymore.
I don't sound that way anymore, you know, like, my voice has changed. So that would be advice I would give to a younger Hazel, any younger artist. Like, if you're working on music, don't sit on it too long. Like, drop it. Like, you have nothing to lose. We have one life.
Yeah, one life, and it's very, very finite. You know, it comes and goes, and some of us aren't as lucky to be here as long as others.
Yeah.
So, yeah, and the thing about music, the creating of it is a gift that God gives us. But the truth is, the art is for the world. It's like the records are for the world, and like, and I relate to you with the whole, like, you know, sometimes, you know, you're not there anymore as a person, but there's millions of people that might be there, that might need to hear it, that might need to get out of that. You know, like, I always reference J. Cole, like, he's to this day one of my favorites of all time, and like, he got me out of real dark places. You know, that Love Yours record, that whole album, he has some real powerful records on there that just,
he's great.
at a time I was, you know, dark, and to this day, every time I hear that record, there's times where I want to quit on the treadmill, and that record comes on the shuffle, and I'm like, you know, it just takes me back, and it's like, wow. So that's my dream, that's my goal, that's success for me, to make something like that for somebody.
Yeah.
And, you know, as artists, sometimes we get caught up with, like you said, these bigger ideas, and, you know, I'm a Scorpio, but same problem. I have so many film ideas, script ideas. I'm like, no, we can't do it until we get so we can't do it.
Yeah.
That's why the podcast has changed my life, and it's so good. Literally, the first day we did it, we were talking for hours, and we kept saying, everybody, because it should be a podcast, it should be a podcast, it should be a podcast. My dad had been doing this for 2 years, and I was like, you know, let's just do it. And my dad was like, oh, we only have one camera. I was like, let's figure it out after. Let's just do it. And I'm so happy. I was actually ashamed at first, because I was like, this can't be the first episode, and it ended up being the first episode.
Yeah, and then, like, you just keep going, like, just step by step. Like, don't. My favorite saying is, like, let it fly. Like, just like, do it. Like, what the heck.
Facts. And speaking of, you know, teams, we have this segment I'm working on the show called Shoot Your Shot. Who are some producers, artists, other people you'd like to work with that you haven't necessarily had the chance or pleasure of? Yeah.
Producers.
Or people you'd like to add to the team.
Yeah, just people you like to, you know, work with in the future. It doesn't necessarily have to be producers. Anything that comes to mind. Like, what's like a dream, you know, feature collab you'd like?
Like, right now, I'm really into, like, Haley Bailey, Sabrina Carpenter, Charlie XCX. Love her. Like, Rowan, Chapel Rowan. I'm sorry if I said your name wrong. Like, these new pop girlies that are coming out, like, I freaking love them. And Ariana Grande. Mariah Carey's probably, like, number one on my list.
Yeah? That's awesome.
Number one. I would love to just see her.
Yeah, you have a favorite Mariah Carey record? Or some favorites?
Yeah, probably, like, My All.
My All? Okay. Yeah, my mom loves Mariah Carey. She was a big part of my childhood.
Yeah, Mariah in the 90s, she isn't talked about enough.
You gotta shake it off. Low-key record. A lot of people don't like that song. I like it. My mom used to love that record. So let me
but producers, probably, like, dang, I don't know. I like a challenge. I'm honestly open to any type of production. I'm not tied into a specific genre. I like to do, like, Afro pop. I like to do house.
Yeah, a lot
EDM,
of your new stuff has very house dance
feel.
elements to it.
Yeah, like dance.
I can see, like, Porter Robinson, like some legendary house artist, you know, you on a record, that'd be really cool. Things like that.
Yeah. And
then also on that same point too, let's see here. What's your favorite Sex and the City character?
Ooh, that's hard. Can I say two?
Yeah, say two, of course. There's
right.
4 girls total, right?
Yeah.
Originally.
My favorite would be Samantha and then Carrie, but I feel like I'm more Carrie in my heart and my life. But, like, I love Samantha. She's such a feminist. She's such a, like, don't play with me. Like, that's a freaking do whatever you want type of woman. Yeah, she was the baddest. I probably won't take it there, but yeah, I love her, and she makes me she made that freaking show. I wish she was back please come back, please.
Yeah, I was gonna ask. That's the one that didn't come back, right? But, she's memorable to me though. When I think of Sex in the City, like I ironically don't think of Carrie. I think of Samantha and being like
It's
sexy
her,
and
Samantha.
seductive and promiscuous. Like
Yeah.
that's
She's the star.
Yeah, she was funny.
Sex and the City or Sex in the City. What's the name of the show?
Sex in the City.
And the city.
Sex-
and the city.
No, it's Sex in the City, right?
Child, don't make me laugh. Let's look
I
it
saw
up.
this online
What does
recently,
it say?
and it blew
I
my
think it's
mind.
Sex in the City.
In the city?
In the City.
Oh, yeah, I could be wrong.
It-
Or maybe and the
It's a
City
Mandela
was the
effect.
movie,
It's a
right?
Mandela
Oh
effect
my
type
God,
of thing.
no.
Yeah, Sex and the City. It's Sex and the City.
Wait, is this the movie though?
No, it's
And the City. What the fuck?
Sex and the City.
yeah,
It's Sex and the City.
Oh,
so
wow.
crazy. It just
Well,
just doesn't make
there you have it,
dra-
people.
dramatic sense. And what do we say? Sex in the City, right? That's what we
I said
typically
sex and the city.
Sex and the City.
I said in.
Sex in the City, right? That's what it is. Sex. Yeah, that's great. Anyways, yeah, I got to do a rewatching because I never actually saw the show. I would see it like through my mom watching it, and I was a kid. I didn't understand any of the concepts going on and stuff like
Yeah,
that.
as a man watching it, just pick the right episode.
It's
'cause-
educational though, believe it or not. Like I feel like the way I look at it, like as a writer, like I grew up a lot. Like I'd see things my mom would watch. You know, I wouldn't have a say in it. It ended up being like a lot of chick flicks, a lot of like rom-coms, and it educated me like with women. It educated me on like, oh, this is what women like in the movies. Maybe this is something they like in real life type shit.
Yeah.
And it doesn't necessarily always work that way, but it just
Yeah.
educated me on like the other side of things. You know,
Yeah.
before necessarily having those partners or having those moments. You know,
Yeah.
art imitates life. So
Yeah.
like I kind of used it always as a tool like that. So when I say like I plan to rewatch it, there's so many things I want to watch, but
Right now, I will give you like 2 recommendations, and I
for
think you'll like
for
them.
episodes.
For like not episodes, but like series.
Oh,
that you might
awesome!
like.
Let me get them.
I love Monk,
Monk.
and I love Suits. Like Suits is, I freaking cried when it was over. Like I could cry right now. It's like one of the best shows.
The princess.
Yeah.
She's from there, right? That's where
Meghan
she.
Markle.
Yeah, she's on that. Okay, I have to see that. I was confusing with Mad Men at first, but Suits is contemporary, right? It takes place
Yeah.
nowadays.
Yeah.
Okay.
Nowadays.
Yeah,
mhm.
so it's all right. And then Monk, I would always see. I wouldn't like. I would see clips
Monk
of it.
is an old
Old.
show.
I would see it when I was younger into wrestling. It'd always come on USA after Monday Night Raw. They'd play like automatically. Or sometimes I think it'd play before. So like me anticipating the wrestling program coming on, I'd be watching Monk. And it's interesting. He's a quirky character. The guy.
Yeah, like I see myself in him a lot. Like
Yeah.
I'm like a clean freak. Not as bad as Monk, but I don't know. I just love that show. Like he's very like witty and clever, and like he's always like
Attention to
here
detail.
with you. He's very attentive. Like and with Suits, what I loved about that show is the vocabulary. Like that show, I swear, I was like, oh my god, I think I might go to law school one day.
And
Like
vocabulary in what sense? Like, because what's the premise of the show? What are they wearing suits for? Are they is it a corporate company?
they're lawyers. Basically.
Lawyers,
They
okay.
deal with like cases and like
So
life.
The lawyer jargon, like the technical terms, that's what's you're wrapping your head around that, and you're like, wow, that's interesting. That's
Yeah,
fun. That's so cool.
I like that, and I like Shark Week.
Shark Week.
Mm-hmm.
Our boy in the house, Mauricio Bermudez. he's part of that. He had an up in Shark Week. That's crazy.
I did a deep dive with megalodons, and I don't know. It's a weird attachment I have with them.
What
I respect them. I'm scared of them. I kind of don't want to go back in the ocean, but it's just it's so fascinating.
what's going on? So what would you get from this megalodon deep dive? Educate. What's the Sparks notes? Give us the cliff notes on this.
So a megalodon is basically like what it is like a huge shark, and it's kind of like a shark from ancient times that they say used to be here. They found remains of it, but it was only a few back then. So it's like dinosaur times, and it's like the dinosaur of the ocean. They claim that now we still have them because we
70% unexplored.
yeah, we
the
have
ocean.
not seen a lot of things in there, and it's just it's so cool to me, like to see something as like big as a ship. Like it's so freaking scary. It all brings me back to veganism, because it's like you better respect Mother Earth, because if some shit comes out the ground, we think we're big shit, but if like we get a Godzilla one day, I respect you, Godzilla, and the megalodons. Like, don't come for me. I respect you. Like, it just reminds.
I've been vegan all along.
I know, like it wasn't me. I don't eat shark. Nah, but I don't know. I just start thinking about. I'm a big thinker. I don't know. That's why I love them. It's just like, and they're so beautiful too. Like it's just like the power. You just gotta respect. Like we're such a small piece of dust in this world that whenever you're having like a bad day or you feel like shit ain't going your way, like it's life is so much more.
It's bigger than that. It's the bigger picture, and I've learned that having conversations on the podcast, and I've learned that about myself, that we have hope. You know, there's always, even when we have bad days, it's like, oh, this record's gonna blow up, this is gonna blow up, our life's gonna change, everything's gonna change. And you know, I've my heart goes out to those out there that maybe aren't chasing a dream yet, don't have something figured out, but there's always something to have hope for. Yeah. There's always something to look forward to, whether it be a movie, whether it be a new episode of a show, whether it be just seeing your dog, whether it's getting a dog, whether it's, you know, the relationships you haven't had or met or started yet in your life. Think of the beauty of those. Like, life is so profound, and we get caught up in what we don't have. So
right?
It's social media sucks for that, you know, and it's beautiful because we get to connect with people. There's friends that, you know, Mauricio, my boy that's in the building now, I haven't seen him in years, but we've stayed connected through social media, and it's a blessing. But the other side of the coin is we see everybody's highlights, and then we think we're missing out, you know. Me, out of relationship for 2 years, constantly go algorithms filled with everybody in happily relationships, and I was like, damn, I'm missing out, you know. Maybe I'd be going on more trips if I had a girl, but then it's like, what am I doing? That's not what ticks for me right now. I gotta do this. This is what works for me, and I haven't met the person that understands. There's like, oh yeah, I get you, you know. We'll make
and
the time
in
around
due time, you know, like it's like we always want like what other people have. Like I have a lot of friends like having babies right now. They're getting married, and these aren't the thing. These are things that I want. My body wants it. Like I was born to be a mother, you know, but my career exceeds that right now, and that's what I'm focused on. So it's a very hard battle. Oof, it's so hard. And then like with society, they're like, oh, you got a clock, honey, what are you doing, like, are you married yet, and like all this crap. And it's like in due time, because it's like if I lived for other people, that's how people like get divorced. You get into a relationship, you end up cheating on them, or like you're just, this is unfulfillment. And it's like I've learned, like, I'm gonna do me before any freaking thing, and whatever comes after that, then hey, you know. I like love women like Rihanna. Like she's having a baby in her late 30s. Naomi Campbell had a baby at 50, and it's like the richest women in the world, you know. So it's like
great examples,
you know. So it's like I love that, and it gives me hope, because it's like I do want to be a mother, but it's just not the right time. But when it is the time, I'm locked in. That's all I'm gonna be.
You got your fur babies for now. You got Miracle and Bison.
Exactly. I got my girl, and that's it.
It's beautiful. I love it. That's a very well worded answer, and very powerful. You say that. You know, as I get older, my name's Officialheir. You know, it's all about lineage and family and sons. But I've been playing with that idea. You know, I love John Cena. He was my favorite wrestler growing up, but he's also a rapper, and what he's doing now with acting. And he recently said, I'm not gonna have kids. And his take on it was incredible. And it just blows my mind, because I'm like, wow, this guy's like Superman, to not have to not want to have a son and put another kid in the world. And then he was, you know, same idea. I'm just not there. My career, you know, he has a partner. He's good. They're both on the same page about it, and that's powerful. And it's just opening my mind to, like, you know, I want to have kids. I really want to continue my name, but I want to do it with the right person. I don't want to deprive myself, and it's not even about me. It's about my kid. You know, I don't want to put that kid in that situation where he's got a toxic family, toxic relationship with his parents, just sees toxicity. I don't want to do that. I don't want to do that for him, man. He deserves better, or she deserves better. So it's
parents, I feel like the main thing with raising children is making sure that you have happy parents, you know, like. And I feel like a lot of people may have kids too early, where they feel robbed of their career or their you know, things that they've wanted to do, and then they had a baby and then they just stop. But it doesn't have to stop there.
Facts.
But some people do let it stop there. So I think, you know, definitely don't rush.
It's a choice. It's like health and fitness. Like, people say, oh, on my job, my work, this and that. It's like, I can't, like, I don't have the time to do it. But the truth is, you know, that's your choice, and you're gonna pay. It's hard to make the time and to go to the gym, do exercise. It's hard to do that, but it's also hard to be, and having health problems, to not live long. It's also hard struggling to walk. It's also hard dealing with all these ailments.
Yeah.
When your body's trained and you go make that extra time
Yeah.
to do that hardship, you're prepared for the hard moments that are going to come
Exactly.
naturally.
They're gonna freaking come. Like, either we put in the hard work now, or like we're constantly deteriorating. So it's like, either if we don't do it now, we're gonna feel it later. Like, it's a saying that it's like, if you don't want to take medicine, like, make sure you're taking care of yourself now, because if not, you're just gonna get a bunch of like tubes down your throat and all this like stuff that we could avoid now.
It's scary. It's definitely a scary world to think about when you're dependent on something.
Health
It's-
is wealth. And then those freaking hospital bills come, and that is wealth, because you better have money to pay for it if you're sick. Like, the hospital don't like healthy people. That's why I say the F out of there.
No, you're good. You're good. Sorry.
Thanks. Anytime I curse, just put a bleep.
I got you, yeah. That bleep you just used, we're gonna use that. We're gonna cut that in. Every time you've cursed, we use that. And then every episode we do a big three. This is a game we play where we draft. So I have this idea, Disney princesses. There's a lot to pick from. I think I'm thoroughly educated, but the guest always goes first. I think I have a pretty good idea who your first pick for Disney princess is gonna be. What's your number one draft pick for Disney princess?
Mulan.
Awesome. I like that. I'm gonna go with. I like Ariel. Like, it blows my mind, and
Yeah.
I think about it and looking back. Like, it's so funny. Like, I got clowned on it. I think about my dad, but like my parents would incentivize me to
She's
like
classical.
to get good grades. They dropped the Little Mermaid 2 when I was a jit, and I learned about Little Mermaid 2 like the same week I learned that there was a Grease 2, which I grew up with on Grease, and like
I didn't know there was a Grease too.
there's a Grease 2. It's awesome.
You better shake up,
Banger. Yeah, and it's
'cause I need a ring.
yeah.
Oh,
That's,
what a good song.
that's it's awesome.
Well written.
And the sequel, it's kind of like they flip it. Instead of Danny Zuko being the lead, it's a pink lady's the lead.
Oh,
And
I
San-
would like that.
Yeah, so it's a gangster lead character. I think Michelle Pfeiffer is in part 2. I think she's.
Dang, that's fire.
Yeah, I'm gonna double check that. Jamie, pull it up.
I got it.
Jamie.
Yeah, it's Michelle Pfeiffer.
That's
Yeah.
a good Halloween costume.
And
You just
she-
gave me an idea.
And she turns out that the guy is her love interest is Sandy's cousin, which is a nerdy white boy with a blonde hair.
Aw.
It's awesome. It was just a really cool way to flip it, and Grease was awesome. I did plays in Grease, like so awesome. I loved it. And then Little Mermaid 2, I just discovered about it at the same time, and I just look back on that memory. I had good grades, and my parents were gonna buy me anything I wanted. They could have bought me a video game, anything. So, no, I just want Grease 2 and Little Mermaid 2. I gotta do this. This is for the culture. And I
Who's
think
your
it was my dad that
second
was-
princess?
You gotta go first. Who's your
Okay,
second?
my second, Princess Tiana.
Princess Tiana's from the new movie, right?
Mhm.
What's the record? What's the movie that's from?
Princess and the Frog.
Princess and the Frog. That's awesome. And that's the first princess of color, right?
First black Disney princess.
That's powerful. That's really cool.
Thank you, Disney.
Shout out Disney if you're listening. We know you are.
Yeah.
So my second pick would be, Belle. Belle's Beauty and the Beast, right?
Yeah.
I like Belle. Belle's a real one because she saw past all that, and I'm big on don't judge a book by its cover.
That's
'cause
true.
Life is crazy, and if you go off judging people, you won't meet great people like Days. Days is great podcast guest, episode out now, and he looks scary. He looks like a pirate of the Caribbean. He's just tats all over the place, but he's so informative. He's one of the nicest, kindest souls I've ever met in my life.
Yeah.
And Belle's a good testament to that because everybody was scared of the Beast, and she was like, "Relax, this guy's a nerd. This guy's."
I think I'm gonna pick her for my third too.
you can't do that.
Okay,
It's a
fine.
draft.
All right. So, because you already took her on your team. She was a good one.
Right.
All right, Belle. All right, fine. My third one's gonna be. Let me think. She gotta be good. Oh, this is hard.
Good. There's a good selection.
This
to
is
choose from.
hard. I would probably go with. Can't go wrong with Cinderella.
Wow. True that. And
She's like classical.
yeah, and then she's also the prime story for like she had the cousins that were hating on her, right? Because she's from the hood, and that's the whole story.
Remember,
The
evil
prince tries to find her.
stepmother.
The stepsister.
Stepsisters.
Oh yeah, they're sisters.
She
wow.
was always cleaning and working.
Holding
and
her
then,
back.
She found her prince.
No, well, yeah,
He found her.
That's what I'm
I don't
saying.
know.
He had to go through. That's the whole story. He had the shoe, right? He had to
Yeah.
go through every girl in the foot. Yo, he had a foot fetish for sure.
Right.
Freaky boy.
What's going on
He was
with
like,
that?
I need to see every foot right now.
I'm finding her this week.
Everybody's like, by her feet? Yeah, no, it's the feet. It has to be the feet. Yo, what a freak. My third pick, man. You know, I really want to say Fiona from Shrek, but they don't own Shrek. Disney doesn't own that. So
No.
Who's Shorty with no, Belle talks to the candles and stuff, right?
Yeah.
I can't get behind Snow White has the dwarfs, right? I can't get behind Snow White. She's using labor force with the midgets and stuff. That's not cool. Jeez, this is tough.
It is hard. Princess Hazel.
Princess Hazel. That's my third pick.
Yay!
That's 100% my third
We're
pick.
manifesting it.
Yes. And then we always end every episode with a message to the world, the people, Hazel. We've dropped gems throughout this whole hour.
Yeah, it flew by.
Yeah, right? Well, what's something you'd like to leave the world with for today? A message to the world.
I love you and take care of yourself and everything will be okay. And my new single is dropping, Sugar, on September 28th with a beautiful music video by my dog Wavy Lord, and I can't wait till you guys see it. And yeah, get used to this face, and I love you.
I love you guys too. We'll see you next week. Peace.
Bye.
In music.
I broke about my shell, then and went and broke that spell. Santeria, that's black magic. Booteria, that's my habit. He don't hit it right, girl, that's tragic. You know I'm